All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series. This is going to be WWF Royal Rumble 1994. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Well, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover on this one. Uh, January 22nd, 1994, Providence, Rhode Island. Buy rate on it was pretty low, but for back then, considering the product, I understand
94, it was kind of rough, like the...
Yeah, 200,000. It was really into the transition of the new generation.
I still think 94 was better than 93, because 93...
94 was better than 95.
Oh, that's not saying much. 95 was the worst.
Owen Hart. Hey, Owen came out and proved himself to be a badass finally out of his brother's shadow. That all transpired.
No, but 95 might have been the worst year of all time. So that's, like I said.
It is.
I thought 94 was fine. I didn't like that they changed the music of the Royal Rumble, man. It was like weak.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it was weak. I like the original music.
Oh yeah, I wish to this day they kept it.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some substitutions for the Royal Rumble. For the opening match, Ludwig Borger was supposed to face Tatanka. He was replaced by Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, he had the ankle injury. Supposedly, I think it was a match with Rick Steiner that he tore up his ankle. Like
it was either that or a Battle Royal. It was one.
Very, it was. I know it was very, very close to the pay-per-view. Very close to it. This was a last-minute replacement.
Yes.
And they had fought on Monday Night Raw, which I don't know why they even fought on Raw, because I thought they were gonna wait for at least a Royal Rumble for them to have that rematch. Because remember, he's the one that ended Tatanka's undefeated streak with the finger.
Yep.
But they fought on Raw. I think Yokozuna comes out, and who else comes out? Somebody else comes out. There's like a whole cluster in the ring. I think Luger comes out to help Tatanka. That's what happens. So then they schedule this match as the revenge match, but Borga ends up getting injured. So see ya.
Yep. And of course, he's replaced in the Royal Rumble. Him, Kamala, and the 1-2-3 Kid are all out, all replaced by Quang the Ninja, Virgil, and Sparky Plug. And of course, there's a alleged, I don't know, you want to say rumor or whatnot, as far as how the main event was supposed to go originally or whatnot. I don't know. We'll get into it when we get to the match. So here we go. Before the night even started, Vince McMahon was joined by the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Who was awful on the commentary.
I loved when he said that he was as big as Diesel if he was standing on his wallet, and then he goes, "Here comes a guy that's a legend in his own mind, Macho Mouth."
The only funny thing I
Jarek, he had crap to say about Jarek. He needs to quit posing and go to work.
The only thing I thought that was good was when he says about Bret Hart, he'd be like, "Look how stupid he is coming out here, risking his career." I thought that was pretty good. But other than that, I didn't think he was good on commentary.
Not to mention, there's only a 29-man Royal Rumble technically, and not 30. We'll get into that later on.
Fashion Booker got sick, I think.
Yeah, he ate too many bananas or whatever he was eating from the Survivor Series. I don't know. With him not in the Rumble, fine with me. So, opening match of the night was Tatanka versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Rivalry renewed.
I really wanted to see Borga fight Tatanka.
I did too.
I really, really wanted to see this fight. That was, Borga, man, he looked like $1 million, man, and they had high hopes, but he just couldn't wrestle because they teased that feud with him and Luger. Remember, they were, and it basically culminated at Survivor Series. I mean, they had some house shows where they wrestled each other and stuff like that, but they were gonna push him, and then he gets injured, and then I think he has like a bad attitude, and he just leaves. Like, he doesn't even call them back because he was supposed to be at WrestleMania. He was supposed to fight. I think it was Earthquake. I think Adam Bomb took his place, and Adam Bomb fights Earthquake at WrestleMania 10. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Adam Bomb face Earthquake squashed.
I think it was supposed to be Ludwig Borga, because I remember seeing like a graphic or something a while ago. But so we got Bam Bam, who's a great wrestler, but there's no momentum there for a fight. Like
we've already seen this.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, just forget the match, go to the Rumble for these two guys, but they're both pulling double duty. And, of course, Bigelow went for the moonsault off the top rope. He missed. Tatanka with a cross body drop off the top rope, and he got the pin on Bam Bam Bigelow. So Tatanka, still on his winning ways against Bigelow, gets the victory. And both of these guys will be back for the Royal Rumble later on. Now, the most interesting match of the night that I was looking forward to was next. And it was for the tag team titles. The Quebecers defending the titles against Bret and Owen Hart.
Right. They had just gotten the titles back.
Yep. They showed the video package of Bret and Owen at the Survivor Series, how this all transpired.
Right.
Owen being the only one eliminated. On December 11th, in an interview with Vince, Owen challenged Bret Hart to a match. Step up to the plate. I'm challenging you one-on-one. Yeah.
This is before. It's way before Kane and Undertaker.
Yeah. On December 18th, Bret turned down the challenge. And then, of course, on New Year's Day, they rectified the situation. Brett and Owen patched things up and challenged the
Yeah.
Quebecers at the Rumble,
But I
which
knew,
you
I
knew
knew.
was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew, I knew.
And then, of course, now here's the different the little kink in the chain for them. On January 10th, they lost the tag team titles to Marty Jannetty and the
Right,
One
right.
Two Three Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then on January 17th, they won the titles back at Madison Square Garden. So, plus, and then of course Todd Pettengill interviewing Brett and Owen. Owen, I'm going to make you so proud.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to climb to the top on the rocket,
Yeah.
and you on my
You're
back.
gonna be right behind, man. You're gonna be right behind me, bro. You already knew. You already knew this was gonna go left.
Meanwhile, DiBiase's calling it dead on accurate. He's in the shadow of his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he is.
Say it, man. I like that interview. Why don't you say it? Say it. The shadow. It's classic
This
stuff.
this was
Great
really
stuff.
good stuff. This
Yeah.
this was Owen's year.
Oh
1994
yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely
Oh yeah,
Owen's year.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and during the match, this is where it got really bad, at least for Brett. Owen holding Jacques, which, by the way, now this is 2 out of 3 Rumbles now that Brett's technically facing Jacques here.
Yeah, yeah. The Mountie was
I
supposed
take it
to,
back.
or
He's
he was
supposed to
supposed
face
to.
him at the
Yeah,
'92 Rumble. Lost the title to him, and because due to illness.
And it's funny too because it's the Quebecers. It's the Fabulous Rougeau brothers versus the Hart Foundation rekindled.
Yeah,
You know,
and technically after the match, you see as Jacques Rougeau leaves, Ray Rougeau comes in to do the
commentary, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as Owen was holding Jacques, Brett went into the rope, and Johnny Polo held the rope open, and Brett went through it, and here comes the knee problems.
Yeah.
And of course, Johnny Polo, is hitting Brett with the polo mallet, and while the ref can't see this because the ref is distracted. Quebecers went for their finisher on Brett, but they missed. And rather than tag Owen, Brett tried to put the sharpshooter on Pierre, couldn't do it, and the referee stopped the match.
But you never see.
No.
You never see that. It was kind of a wonky ending.
It was.
I guess they kind of still wanted to protect Brett in a way, because why wouldn't you just have Brett lose? Why wouldn't you just have him get pinned or something because he's hurt?
I guess the aftermath of what happened would sting more, and then
if they stop,
would that hurt him going later on to the Rumble? Because remember, after the match, Owen kicks his leg.
Yeah, I don't think it would have hurt. I don't think it would have hurt Brett though. I don't know. I'm just nitpicking. I thought the ending was kind of wonky. The ref stop. You never see the ref stop the.
No,
unless you pass out.
Even if Brett couldn't get the sharpshooter on him, maybe he could have crawled over to Owen, or even let the Quebecers pin him, like you said.
Right, yeah.
But just the referee doing that.
Yeah, he still could have blamed him. Even if Brett gets pinned in that spot, it's still his fault because he should have went for the tag.
Should have tagged Owen, and I guess they did that spot to intensify Owen's mood because he was irate after this. Why didn't you just tag me?
Why didn't you? Yeah. It's great acting. Man.
I knew you had a bad knee.
Then he had enough, and he just sweeps the leg.
Oh, old Johnny Lawrence style.
Yeah.
So now Owen is officially turned heel. Because I don't care. I don't need my brother. I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, okay. You're gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Brett did a good job limping back there, and then they did a good job.
They guarded him off on the stretcher.
They did a good job too, showing the the screen. While Owen is in the back, and then he's on the screen. I kicked your leg out of your leg,
and I liked it. Oh yeah, I kicked your leg out of your leg.
He got excited, man. He got a little too excited.
This is the biggest promo he's done since he's been there.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Almost 2 years now.
All you had to do was tag me. Great job. This is great stuff, man. This is just great stuff.
It was. So now for the next match, Jim Ross and Gorilla Monsoon did commentary for the match. It was for the Intercontinental Championship. Razor Ramon defending the title against IRS. This was another interesting match and had a interesting outcome to it as well. Now, IRS whipped Razor into the corner, and of course, the ref went down at this point. Yeah. IRS tried hitting Razor with the briefcase, but was unsuccessful as Razor hit him with it, but couldn't get the pin because the referee was down. Razor was going for the Razor's edge when Shawn Michaels comes down and hits Razor with the IC title.
With his IC title. And then he leaves it there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what where it changes because
I'll get to
the belt was left on the apron. Yeah, IRS tried to get the pin, and he actually got it.
He got the pin, yeah.
Technically, he won the Intercontinental Championship.
It's a dusty finish, but you knew something. This is a dusty finish in WWF, but you knew something was up because they didn't announce it.
No,
they didn't.
And once you saw Earl Hebner come down and talk to Joey Morello,
what is up with all this referee interference tonight? Like,
I
just
don't know.
But
the first one was Earl Hebner.
Yeah, I'm like,
he was the ref. He was the ref in the.
But you know what's the funny thing? Maybe I'm nitpicking, but stuff like this happens all the time where the referee doesn't see something or he gets knocked out and the heel wins and it never gets overturned. It never gets overturned. So why? But tonight, he's showing him the 2 belts and everything.
Hebner comes down, explains it. Meanwhile, Razor doesn't care. While they're arguing, he puts IRS in the Razor's edge.
1, 2, 3.
They count the 3, and Razor's still the Intercontinental Champion.
And then he lifts
both belts.
How does Shawn get that belt back, though?
I think it was on Monday Night Raw.
Did he get it? He got it back on Raw? Yeah, did he? Okay. I was just wondering that. I'm like, why would he leave the belt there? Hit him and take it with you.
Exactly. Then IRS wins the match.
Yeah.
But they have to do that because they've got to set this match up. Because remember, Shawn never lost the belt. They suspended him, supposedly. They told him bring the belt back. Right. He said no. They do the tournament. Razor beats Martel, and the rest is history.
Yeah, well, it was good stuff. It was a good setup. It's just the referees, they're interesting tonight, to say the least. They're doing
exactly. And of course, the next thing was they showed the video package for Yokozuna and the Undertaker. Taker building the casket while Yoko shit in his britches.
I thought, listen, I mean, I enjoyed this feud, but I thought they kind of hurt Yoko because Yoko was a monster heel that was unstoppable, and all of a sudden he's terrified of the casket.
Yeah,
you know.
And this all started at Survivor Series.
I thought it kind of hurt him, but you know.
Now remember the alleged rumor, not confirmed, that the outcome of this match was supposed to be different.
Well, supposedly, there's a rumor. We're not sure. I mean, there was rumors that he was going to win the title tonight, but that because of the back injury, he needed some time off, so he doesn't get the title. What was that going to happen? I don't know. But
Yoko was supposed to take time off. The doctors were concerned about his weight because now he's weighing in at 565. He didn't want to listen to the doctors, so he wasn't planning on leaving.
Right.
And since the Undertaker was wearing a back brace under his suit, he needed to be done. They supposedly changed it to where Yokozuna was going to be the victor here.
Who the hell knows?
There's no telling. Again, it's all allegations. We do know how the match ended, though, which was insane. Because during the match, Crush is the first one to come out and attack the Undertaker.
Which that kind of made sense because he was with Fuji. And so was Tenryu.
Kabuki and Tenryu.
Yeah, right. And so
came out.
But when all the heels come out, I'm like, why are all the heels coming out? Like, I think Cornette's out there.
Of all the people that didn't make any sense, Jeff Jarrett.
What was he doing there?
I don't know.
It was just all the heels, including Diesel. What the hell was Diesel doing there?
This was a 10-on-1.
He was kicking everybody's ass, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. 10-on-1, and he's winning.
He was until they got the urn. Once they got the urn, then he was in trouble. Then Paul Bear got it back. Well, Paul Bear got it back, and then they attacked him, and then they opened. Once they opened the urn, it was over.
But here's the list of people that all came down: Crush, Kabuki, Tenryu, Bigelow, Adam Bomb.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, Diesel, and the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah.
All came down, and I'm like, what's going on here? How much money are they dishing out here?
The thing is, he had Yokozuna in the casket. He was about to close it.
Yokozuna was taking a 10-minute nap.
Yeah, and he was about to close it, and then Crush came. Crush was the first one, like you said, and then eventually get the urn out. They open the urn, the smoke comes out, they throw him in the urn, and then on
the life has pretty much been sucked right out of him.
Yeah, and then Undertaker dies.
Yep, they put him in there. Bam Bam Bigelow jumps on the casket. Yokozuna's won the match. He's ordered them to take the casket back. Now, all of a sudden,
but then
here comes the smoke out of the coffin. Jarrett's still running his mouth, and Yoko's looking at him like, dude, you turn around. So they're all backing up. Next thing you know, you see Undertaker on the Videotron.
Yeah, I
will not rest in peace. Listen, and then the whole electrical storm, and it was awesome.
Look, people say that this was corny, it was campy. I enjoyed
it was not.
I thought it was. It fit with his character, man. If it was anybody else, it would have been.
Especially the resurrection, where you see the Undertaker-like figure coming out from the Videotron as he's resurrected from the coffin.
I remember the rumors that he was gonna come back in all white. I remember the rumors that he was gonna.
I
That's
did hear
happened.
something about that.
Yeah, he came back with the purple and black, but
It was better.
nah, the white wouldn't have worked.
The match itself at SummerSlam wasn't good, but
Nah,
his
those
return
stink
was.
fest. Those are stink fest.
Oh, there's also a rumor that Brian Lee got fired right after that because he
Mm,
stunk up the show that night. But that's
yeah.
for another day.
This match, it was all right. It was okay.
It was two friends going at it during the match,
Yeah,
and Taker
it
needed an
was
exit
fine for the
strategy
story.
to
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
surgery on his back.
People criticize it as not the greatest match, but I think for the story that they were trying to tell, I thought it was fine.
I
For
thought it
me,
was fine, and it culminated at Survivor Series in November, where the two of them had the match, and Chuck Norris was there.
not for the title, unfortunately, but yeah.
Unfortunately, not. But at the time, again, the rumor was Taker was supposed to win the title. Would have been great if he did. Unfortunately, with the whatever with
No.
the injury, and he wound up missing WrestleMania 10. So I mean, Yokozuna is still the WWF champion. He's going to face whoever wins the Rumble. So following that, they showed the pre-recorded comments from the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Jeff Jarrett, Tatanka, Diesel, Doink, Shawn Michaels, and Lex Luger, all about the Rumble. If Doink even thinks he's got a problem, he's got a shot. He's nothing coming.
Now the backstory to Luger being in the Rumble, he wasn't supposed to get another title shot. That was the stipulation when he fought Yokozuna. That was his last title shot.
That was it. And DiBiase had mentioned that during it.
Right. And I think it was Fuji and Cornette were trying to block him from getting into the Rumble, and then there was like a sort of like a petition, and they had like a hotline where you can call and like vote. Should he be in the Rumble? Of course, everyone voted for him to be in the Rumble, and then he gets reinstated. I guess it was Jack Tunney that reinstated him, and then Luger thanked the fans like, "Thank you guys for your support." Blah 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 blah. So Luger can, if he wins this, he can get another title shot.
And again, the alleged rumor was he was supposed to win the Rumble, but then due to now again all speculation, because the main event got changed around, Vince wanted to give it to Bret Hart since he got screwed out of a rematch with Hulk Hogan, never giving him his rematch in '93.
Yeah, but the thing, no, the thing is that they made both of them win, but they didn't know that Luger wasn't gonna win the title at WrestleMania. Like they basically put Bret in there as almost like a contingency plan, like, oh, we'll have a draw and we'll figure it out later down the road. But Vince was still pushing Luger at this point. He was still pushing him. So it wasn't
by this
set
point.
in stone
The storyline wise, it benefited Bret to ultimately, with the injury, win the Royal Rumble. Because I even said I think Bret should have won this.
Well,
by
yeah,
himself.
we'll get into what transpires, but yeah.
So let's get it started. The opening first 10 opponents for the Royal Rumble. Scott Steiner started out at number 1, Samu at number 2, which, by the way, Samu was the first elimination by Scott Steiner. Rick Steiner was at number 3. Of course, he was useless after Quang came in next with the Mist. Owen Hart was at number 5. Poor guy. Bart Gunn at 6. The interesting opponent came in number 7 at Diesel because he set the record of most eliminations of this night. He had 7 eliminations.
The then record, yeah.
The only one that come close, Luger had 3.5. And when I say a half, he assisted in the elimination of somebody else. Bigelow had 3.5, and of course Bret Hart had 2.
This was Diesel's coming out party though. It was after this night that Vince decided I'm gonna push
this guy.
I'm gonna push this guy because he was getting over with the crowd. He had it. It was funny.
They were loving it when he kept throwing them out and just waiting on the next.
It was funny seeing him and Backlund go at it because later on in the year they're fighting each other for the title.
Yeah, an 8-second match, and they were. I think he was in here for 8 seconds.
Something like that.
Because Backlund was number 8, Billy Gunn at number 9, and Virgil was number 10. And of course, DiBiase loved it when Virgil went out. So Diesel's running it until number 11 showed up, which is the Macho Man Randy Savage. And then, of course, your boy Jarrett was at number 12. And the interesting thing, Savage is the one that eliminated Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
So you can thank him for that. Crush at 13, Doink 14, Bigelow at 15. Then you had Mabel at number 16. Now, once the Shawn Michaels gets in the ring,
they have kind of like their alliance. Remember, he goes on the top rope and he's like, "Oh,
no, actually, I think he was going to eliminate him. He was going. No,
because then they kind of like shook hands, right? Because Shawn goes
almost until they started beating on Diesel,
Diesel,
and Shawn gets out of the way. and supposedly you can't really
But you
see
can't
it,
see it.
but
The camera angle's bad.
they say that
They say he
Sean
helped.
super kicked,
That he helped.
yeah, and
That he
helped
helped.
eliminate Diesel, and then he goes and starts beating up other people. So
Mm.
allegedly he helped. You couldn't really see the angle thing, and I believe he helped in it.
He probably did. He probably did.
So and then rounding out the last two
Pull the Hogan.
for the
Sean pulled Hogan.
yeah, naturally. Number 19 was Mo, and then number 20 was Greg the Hammer Valentine.
It was also a little note. It was even though Mabel's garbage, it was good seeing him and Diesel go at it, like the Clash of the Titans, you know? That was cool.
Yeah.
The cool spot.
Now, mind you, this was also a Rumble where it was every 90 seconds,
Yeah.
so it wasn't 2 minutes. So the
Yeah,
length
speed
of
it
the
up.
Rumble was 55 minutes.
Still pretty
It gets
long.
worse the following year. So rounding out the last 10. Now, mind you, also during the Rumble, they showed that Luger was attacked by Kabuki and Tenryu.
Right. Backstage.
So now you don't know if Luger's going to make it into the Rumble.
And you don't know if Brett's going to be in it. They're leading us to believe that Brett's probably not going to be in it.
Exactly, especially when number 25 didn't show up. They were led to believe it was Bret.
That must have been Bret Hart. That must have been Bret.
Number 21, you got the Native American Tatanka. At number 22, the Great Kabuki. Naturally, Lex Luger at 23 and Tenryu at 24. 25 was Bastion Booger, but he didn't make it in due to illness. And they, like you said, they thought it was Bret Hart. Number 26, the model Rick Martel. And here comes at number 27, Bret the Hitman Hart.
He's limping.
Went nuts.
What a pop, man. He's limping out there. And that's
he's truly an athlete.
And DiBiase, look how stupid he is. Risky. That was I actually laughed. That was good stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the last three to round it out: Fatu at number 28, Marty Jannetty at 29, and Adam Bomb at 30.
Your boy. Vince is like, Adam Bomb's going to win it. This is it.
As soon as he came in, about a minute later.
See ya.
And, of course, it was good to see Sean and Jannetty beating the holy hell out of each other.
That's always fun to see. Just like Santana.
It would have been nice to see him one more year, but he's not there anymore. The final four it came down to was a weird final four, but it was Bret, Luger, Shawn Michaels, and Fatu of all people. But Bret beating up on Shawn, Luger on Fatu. They both get eliminated pretty much at the same time.
They throw them into each other.
Yeah, crisscross, and out they go. Now they hit the shoulder and they turn around.
This is good stuff.
You got Bret limping. You got Luger going. Yeah. They grapple for a few minutes. Go over the top rope. You couldn't. If this was the plan, you couldn't have timed this draw any better.
No, it's tremendous. That was Bret Hart. Luger credits Bret Hart. Pritchard credits Bret Hart. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of this." Yeah, and he pulled it off.
And the referee, first they announce it's Lex Luger.
I think it's Lex. I think Bret won.
Then they play Bret's music, and
you know what the sad thing is? You know what the sad thing is? So they announced Luger as the winner first. They play his music, and it's kind of like the crowd doesn't really care that much.
Exactly.
When they announce Bret, you hear the roar. I felt bad for Luger because I'm like, they shouldn't have put him in that situation, man.
You know they do this again the following year when they start playing Bulldog's music, thinking he won it, and Shawn Michaels comes back in.
Well, Shawn Michaels, I mean, it's a little different because then.
Well, that was the year of the Shawn Michaels rule.
Shawn Michaels actually threw him out. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't right for Luger because it kind of showed that the fans were really behind Bret. They weren't behind Luger.
I'm going to be honest. I wasn't behind him either at this point.
No, not at this point. But they
I
did
was behind Bret Hart.
Vince still hadn't given up, and then they're like, whoa, that they kind of just like, go off the air, like co-winners, and then,
Well, it was because it was Jack, I'm on the take, Tunney, that comes out. People are booing him, and they're all talking, and then finally Howard Finkel's like, who won this damn thing? And he just announced that co-winners Lex Luger
and the crowd is like, you hear the crowd like, what's going on? Yeah, but I thought it was actually cool. It was something new. I didn't mind. It was something different. First time they did that, so I didn't mind at all.
No,
just
because then they had the coin toss that depending on who won, they had the match set up prior that Bret would face Owen if Lex won the toss. If Bret won the toss, Lex would have to face Crush originally before Savage was announced for that match. So we got to see Bret faces Owen.
They would both get a title shot. The understanding
was,
but they would both have to wrestle twice in one night to make it fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Luger won the coin toss. He faced Yoko first. The whole perfect fiasco. Bret loses to Owen, but goes on and wins the title.
Right. And supposedly up until fairly close to WrestleMania, Vince was going with Luger, and then at the last minute, he decided to go with Bret. That's the rumor. So he hadn't given up on him.
The other rumor was he
That's not true about him getting drunk. Don't even say that he got drunk the night before and told the reporter. Please don't say that.
No.
Did you hear that rumor?
I'm
Did
not
you hear
buying
that?
that anyway.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that rumor that he got
Yeah.
drunk and told the reporter, "Hey, I'm going to win the title tomorrow," and then the reporter blabbed?
Yeah, I'm not buying
That's
that.
urban legend.
Supposedly, he had said that, I'm gonna give it to Brett, but I can always give it to Luger down the road,
Down the
which
line.
never happened, and that's
Yeah,
what Luger got. One of the reasons why Luger,
Yeah.
Mike's going away. Supposedly, why one of the reasons we got fed up and left.
I'm sure.
Again, it's all allegation and rumor until you hear it from their mouth.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm Lex Luger and you told me when I got here you would be WWE champion,
My whole thing
still
is
not champion.
We spoke about this a few years ago when we did the Lex Luger episode. What went wrong and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just put the belt on him, man. Because you gave him that push. You just put the strap on him. If it doesn't work, take it off.
Even just for a short time.
But just if you're gonna go through all of that, if you're gonna make him the next Hulk Hogan, you're gonna go through that. But Lex Express, all of this stuff, just put the damn belt on him. So, but they didn't. So there you go.
And then, of course, everybody that Cornette everybody that Yoko was facing at this time, Cornette put the thing in. Oh, this is your only chance at getting the title. Because remember, not only Luger got that in the contract, but the Undertaker tonight.
It was silly.
And remember Taker.
We could be on.
It will only take me one time.
We could be here forever with that stuff. But as far as this pay-per-view, I mean, I thought it was fine. People criticized this one. I thought it was fun. I liked the ending. It was different.
It was a great build-up to WrestleMania and the coming out for Owen Hart.
Yeah, definitely.
For Diesel. The farewell for the Steiners. Unfortunately, this would be their last pay-per-view, although they would be around a little bit longer. I mean, this was great storytelling going forward to WrestleMania, and the co-winners, despite the fact that I don't agree with it, it kind of benefited at WrestleMania because both guys got their title shot. I just wish Brett would go down as being the 1994 winner of the Rumble, not a co-winner.
I know what you're saying. I'm
remember 2000? What was it? 2005. They did that. They tried to do it again with Batista and Cena, and they're like, "No, we're not doing that this time." Yeah, they messed it up.
No, they messed up. They weren't. Batista couldn't hold on.
I know.
Yeah,
because I remember watching that, and I'm like, "Oh, please, God, no, don't do this."
Yeah.
Luckily, they fixed that problem.
It's an accident. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.